I've had a box underneath my glass cabinet for about a week. I haven't been able to unbox it because over the past week I've actually been getting my room painted. And so this box has just been sitting there unopened for about a week. And it has been killing me. Just the anticipation of knowing that there's so many models in here. It's a huge box as well. For a size comparison, here's a 737-700. It is a huge box. I don't know exactly what planes are in here. I'm estimating 5. I do currently have over 20 models on order, so it could of course be any one of them, but I'm expecting there to be 2 Gemini Jets and 3 NG models if my predictions are correct. But without further ado, I guess we're just going to go ahead and unbox this very, very large box. I'm using a drill bit to actually open the box because I don't actually have any scissors or a knife on hand at the moment, but there we go. And opening it, I love unboxings. Like, I can't actually stress how much enjoyment I get out of opening boxes. There's just something so satisfying about it. But opening the box up, and we have, oh, okay, this is not what, oh yes, okay, these are not the models I was expecting to arrive. Okay, so it turns out we have 1 Phoenix model and 3 NGs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do what I did with my A400 and Voyager unboxing. I'm going to show you them one at a time and then completely go through that model and then move on to the next one. And so starting off today, we have the Phoenix British Airways 787-10. Now, a lot of you may know I'm actually on a quest to buy every single wide-body aircraft that British Airways currently do have. After this, the only one I'm missing is the 777-300, and that's actually the one I need the least. The reason why I have so many British Airways aircraft is, out of all of British Airways' wide-body aircraft, only one aircraft hasn't been regularly scheduled to Dallas, and that's the 777-300. Everything from the A380, 747, 777-200, 787-8, 787-9, A350 have all been regularly scheduled to Dulles, and so I thought, you know what, there's only 2 extras that I don't have, the 787-10, which is brand new to British Airways' fleet, so this might start service to Dallas, and the 777-300. But yeah, moving on to the actual models, you can see we've got the image of the aircraft, the British Airways logo down there, then we've got like a sky picture there with the Boeing 787-10 at the top there, the registration and the scale. And then on the side it's just the regular kind of stuff. We've got, of course, the Houses of Parliament as well as Big Ben there, and the I think this Westminster Bridge. We've got the logo again and the titles, of course, of the Boeing 787-10. The same on the sides, on the top, just, you know, your regular Phoenix box. This is actually my first Phoenix 787-10. I currently have a lot of the 787-9s from Phoenix, but I don't actually have any of the 787-10s. So this is going to be first, and British Airways recently did get their first 787-10. I say recently, it's probably about 3 weeks ago at this point, but taking out the model, and okay. Yeah, it is, it's got the same issue as the Aer Lingus model. As you can see, the forward nose gear is there in the box, and there's the other piece. Wait, hang on, where is the other piece? Oh, there's the other piece. There it is in the side there. I don't know how it gets there from there, like, but there we go. Okay, and opening the box now. We did have the plastic on the top as well, but that came up with the top piece, and then taking the model out of the box. Now, usually I would get frustrated with this kind of thing, especially from Gemini Jets, just because Gemini Jets, you have to actually use glue to put them back together. But if this is the same as my Aer Lingus that I got, it should just pop back in without any need of any glue. And there we go, just pop back together, no need for any glue, and it's back to its usual self. And starting off at the front of the model here, you can see we've got the cockpit windows there, as well as the British Airways titles with the classic Chatham Dockyard kind of logo. Moving down, we have the blue underbelly, and one thing I really appreciate about Phoenix is how vibrant they make the colours on British Airways. It's the same for NG. The colours on the British Airways aircraft just pop a lot more. They're a little bit darker, and it's like they've just upped the contrast on the model. Then we have the L1 door there, the L2 door. You can see we've got the little One World kind of logo right next to the L1 door. Then, of course, the forward landing gear, which did come broken, but it seems to be all right now. Again, as I said, I did have this same issue. If you remember back to my Aer Lingus A330 unboxing, I did have this exact same issue with the forward landing gear. However, the reason why I didn't get that mad about it is because on Phoenix, they literally, if it will focus, they literally just pop back together easy as can be, and it's all back to normal. Moving back to the center of the aircraft, we've got the Wi-Fi dome as well as the wing here. The engines, of course, the Rolls-Royce Trent engines, and then moving back, of course, we've got the main landing gear, no problems with that. Then moving back even further to the rear of the aircraft, we have, of course, the final two doors and the registration, which is Golf, Zulu, Bravo, Lima, Alpha. Then we've got the little Royal Mail insignia there, some little antennas, the rear door, and then moving back we have, of course, the British Airways tail. And then just bringing in my other two 787s from British Airways. Now we have all three variations of the 787 in British Airways' fleet. British Airways have beaten United in this sense because I currently have one 787-8 and two 787-10s for United. I do currently have the 787-9 in the new livery on order as well, but that hasn't come just yet. But this is quite interesting to compare because this one is Gemini Jets, the -8, the -9 is NG, and then the -10 is Phoenix. I know that Gemini Jets, NG, and Phoenix all did release the 787-10. All of these companies make really good molds on the 787. The 787 isn't really a bad mold from anybody. They've pretty much nailed it across the board with all of the companies. So it was literally just, which one do I go for? The NG one, well, I knew that would sell out quite quick, so I didn't want to go for that because I know that, you know, NG models do take a long time to get to you. And then Gemini Jets also did release the 787-10 as well. However, I decided to go for Phoenix because Gemini Jets, just because of some of the stuff they've, you know, said about me and stuff, I just try not to invest money into a company that does have a grudge against me. And as well, I did buy quite a few of the models in that release as well, so I decided to, you know, take a break from Gemini Jets and go for Phoenix instead. And as well, it kind of works out well as we've got the -8, the -9, and the -10 from Gemini Jets, NG, and Phoenix. The -9 and the -10 are very good models, but this Gemini Jets one, I will give Gemini Jets a pass on this one because it was, I think this is one of the first releases they made of the 787. But I don't know if you can see, but on the tail here, the tail just isn't right on this model. I'll try and get another tail to compare it. A lot of you that are familiar with the Chatham Dockyard livery will realize that this is wrong, but you can see that just the red isn't right on this model. You can see that it should come a lot lower, but it comes up a lot steeper at the end here, and that's just, it's just a bit proportionally incorrect. But both Phoenix and NG got it perfect. As you can see, those tails are exactly proportionate. The -8 on the other hand isn't that good. But it's not a terrible effort. I mean, it could be a lot worse. The mold is correct and everything else. The rest of the livery is fine. It's just the tail that's a bit off. And you know, I'm kind of lucky to have this plane anyways. This the -8 from British Airways is quite a rare model in itself, so I'm just lucky to have it in the first place. And moving on to our next model, and again, I do want to mention, you know, we do have 4 models and I'm saving the best till last. So if you do want to see that, then stay around to the end. But our next model is this, the NG Models Alaska 737-800. I did actually have this model from Gemini Jets a while back, but that did get broken over time, and so I'm glad to get a replacement for that aircraft. Currently, Alaska are operating the A321neo to Reagan and the 737-900 to Dulles. But especially with Dulles, Alaska are very spontaneous when it comes to their routes out of Dulles. They're constantly changing. For example, that summer where I went last summer in 2019, when I actually flew on Alaska to Dulles from Seattle to Washington Dulles, they were operating all A320s from Washington Dulles to San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Seattle, and then fast forward to a year and they're operating all 737-900. So it's always changing. Sometimes you'll get the 800, sometimes you'll get the Neo. It's just, you know, I'm just kind of playing it safe by trying to get all the Alaskas I can. I've currently got the A320 and the A321neo as well as the 800 in the Salmon 30 Salmon livery, and so I'm thinking of getting this one, and then after this one I'm hoping I can get a 900 in the Honoring Those Who Serve, and an A321neo in the More to Love. But apart from that, moving on to the actual model, and again, the boxes are just amazing from NG Models. They're just really detailed, and they're all unique as well, which is a very, very nice touch. You can see we've got the colors of Alaska kind of replicated into the box. We've got the gray, then the green, then the blue. It's more like a turquoisey color, then a blue, then a very dark blue. It's a very nice color scheme Alaska have, and then we've got Alaska down here, registration, Boeing 737-800 on there, then NG. On the sides, we've got Alaska, the logo, then we've got the image of the aircraft and literally replicated on those sides, and then on the back, we've got more of the same stuff, the image, and then just some boring parts about warnings and copyright and all of that kind of boring stuff. But moving into the box now and opening it, we have the model, and it doesn't seem to be broken. Everything seems to be fine with this model, and taking it out of the box, we've got the plastic as per usual, taking that off, and we have the model. And so starting off at the front now, the front is of course the area that NG kind of mess up a little bit. The nose isn't 100%, but it's a lot better than, you know, what Gemini Jets do with the winglets. But we've got the cockpit windows there, as well as the L1 door there, the forward landing gear, the Alaska titles here, and we've got the grey underbelly. As you can see, I'll flip the, I've had a lot of requests to show the underside of the aircraft, so I'll do that now. You can see we've got the grey underbelly of the aircraft, so I'm shaking a bit, too much coffee I guess. Moving back, as you can see, we've got the emergency exits, the 2 emergency exits on the 800. Then we've got the engines here with the blue, green and turquoise kind of fluorescent kind of addition to the underside of the engine there. Moving back, we've got the emergency things on the wing there, the emergency paths on the wings. The landing gear, which you can't really see from this angle, but it's all in very good condition. Then the winglets, which NG models do absolutely amazing on, as you can see there. And then moving back to the main aircraft, moving back, we've got the registration, which is November 565 Alpha Sierra, with the American flag, and then we've got this again, the fluorescent kind of pattern with the green, turquoise, blue and very dark blue going onto the back here. And then the rear door there with the Eskimo, Chester I believe his name is, on the back there. I said this before in my Alaska A321neo unboxing, but Alaska's new livery is just amazing. It's one of the only new liveries that kind of came out and everybody was like, yeah, this is a definite improvement. Even with some of the new liveries that do kind of look good as well, like the United new livery, it was very split 50-50 when it did first come out, whether it was better than the new livery or old livery. A lot of people do like it now, including me. I'm a very big fan of the new United livery. But Alaska, without a doubt, I don't think there was any criticism on the new livery when compared to the old one. It's just an amazing, amazing livery. And with that, I'm going to move on to the next model, as you know, I don't want to take too long. And again, these next two models, these are ones I'm very, I could continue that pattern of veries for a very long time, because these next two I'm very looking forward to. And moving on to the next model, this one, oh man, I'm buzzing about this model, and this isn't even the best one. We're waiting for the best one till last, but this one is another good one. We have the NG Hawwian A330-200. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, why did I get this? You know, they don't come to DC, and there's a few reasons why I got this. It's an amazing model. I've always loved the Hawaiian livery, and I did have the A330-200 from Gemini Jets. That was the one with the really flexed wings, and it was in the old livery as well. So I decided to go for the new livery as well, and just to add it to my fleet of aircraft, even if I'm not going to have it in many updates, I'm just, you know, kind of add it to my collection, and it's going to be a great addition. The second reason is, of course, suggested updates. In some of my suggested updates, Hawaiian does come to those airports, and that's also the reason why I'm trying to get a lot of like Spirits and Allegiance and WestJets. Although some of those airlines don't come to DC, I want to get them so when I do suggested updates around the US, I'll have all the airlines I need. And the reason 3 why I got this, and this is kind of my fantasy reason, is I'm hoping. Now this may be a long way off, but I'm hoping and I'm praying that one day Hawaiian will start service to Washington Dulles. It's not out of the realm of possibility. You know, they started service to Boston recently. Well, I say recently, about last year at this point. The A330 can easily handle that route from Honolulu to Washington Dulles. In fact, United fly that route on the 767, and I'm just hoping that one day, you know, Hawaiian will start that flight from Honolulu to Washington Dulles. As East Coast destinations go, there may be some more high demand destinations, like maybe Miami will be one before Washington Dulles, but you know, Hawaiian, they got to connect to the rest of the US, and I'm hoping you know, DC, that could be the next one. But take a look at the box now, and man, this is just amazing. One of the things I love about Hawwian is the floral kind of pattern to it. They've got these purple kind of flowers and leaves down here, you can see, and then we've got the Hawwian Airlines logo, the Airbus A330-200 up here, the clip art of the aircraft, the NG logo down there with 1 to 400, the registration as I've said, and then on the sides, the classic, you know, NG box. We've got A330-200 image of the aircraft, the Hawwian logo A330-200, and then replicated on the other two sides. And on the back, it's exactly the same as the front, except we've got all of this kind of boring stuff down here instead of the front of the aircraft where we have Hawwian and NG. But taking the model out of the box now, and I'm very, very, very excited to get my hands on this. Again, they have the weird A330 box thing where it's very tightly packed. They've got a tray underneath the styrofoam there, but taking the tray off the bottom and that down there, and then the top as well, you can see that we have the model. When it's in polystyrene, I'm always very nervous about taking it out because you kind of have to force it out a little bit, but taking the model out of the polystyrene now gently does it, and there we go. Covered in plastic as well, very nice. Protection is of course key. I'm taking that off the bottom there, and then we have the nose piece there. And this is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe, oh wow, this looks absolutely, just the colors. NG does something amazing with the colors. They're not dulled down, they're just kind of exaggerated. Like, it's like they just boosted the contrast on this model. It's absolutely amazing, and I could just sit and look at this model all day. It's definitely one of my new favorite models. It's just absolutely insane. The A330 mold from NG is an amazing mold, and just with this livery, it's just incredible. And starting off at the front of the aircraft now, we've got the cockpit window there. We've got the name of the aircraft. Now, just like Iceland Air, I believe Hawwian does name their aircraft after volcanoes. I think that's what it is. I know Iceland Air, like the Hekla Aurora. I've actually seen the Hekla Aurora volcano in real life, as well as the special livery. So I've seen the aircraft and the actual mountain the Hekla Aurora aircraft is being named after. But I believe Hawaiian's the same. That might not be true, but I believe Hawwian aircraft are named after the volcanoes. Then we've got down here, we've got Airbus A330-200, as well as the L1 door here with the Hawwian flag. And then we've got the Hawwian logos in the new font. I love the new font as well. It just looks a lot more modern and clean, and it just looks so much better. And then here we have the L2 door as well. And then moving down, we have the forward landing gear as well. Moving back on the aircraft. Again, a lot of people like to say this is more of a refresh livery than an actual new livery, because, you know, it doesn't look a whole lot different from their old livery. The main difference in this new livery, as you can see, is this kind of floral pattern. I believe this is meant to represent a lei, which is of course a symbol of, you know, welcoming people to their island, I believe, or something like that. I don't really know. And then we've got the engines there. Of course, the white engines, and then we've got the wingtips as well. I'll try and focus it on the wingtips. There we go. Just a bit more of that kind of grey floral pattern. But then moving back on the aircraft, we've got the registration, which is November 369 Hotel Alpha with the American flag there. Then we've got the rear door, and of course the amazing Hawaiian tail with the Hawaiian woman, of course, with the faded purple going into like a pink color up there. Then we've got the floral pattern down here, and it's just absolutely amazing. Moving to the underside of the aircraft now, you can see where the floral pattern does kind of blend into each other on the bottom. It looks amazing, coming from purple to pink to red to grey. Just looks absolutely insane. And then the rest of the aircraft is just a white kind of underbelly to the aircraft. This is honestly just an absolutely amazing looking aircraft. Again, even if you don't have an airport that supports this aircraft like I do, just get this model. It's just an amazing model. The Hawaiian livery is just stunning, and it just looks amazing, and I think it's just going to make a very nice addition to my collection, even if I'm not going to use it that much. But then moving on to the final aircraft, which I'm very excited about, we have the United 757-200 in the California livery. For those of you who don't know, the Her Art Here competition was announced a little over a year ago, and it was a competition that only females could enter, and it was a competition to design 2 of the Boeing 757s in United's fleet. And 2 liveries came out. This was one of them. This is the California livery, of course representing the west coast of America, and then we also have the New York livery, which represents the east coast of America. I have ordered both of them. This is the one that's just come first. This is the California livery, as I said, and it's an absolutely amazing aircraft. I'm very glad that I have this, just because there's a lot of umming and ahhing about this model and whether, you know, this is actually justified with copyright and everything. There's a lot of drama going on about this model. Now, Gemini Jets did actually release this in a white box. That was to, of course, avoid any of the copyright issues. And there are still some doubts about this model. There was a comment that was kind of stirring about from the designer of this livery. They actually noticed that companies like NG and Gemini Jets and, you know, were releasing these models. And of course, these liveries are copyrighted as well. And so there was a lot of speculation about whether these would actually go into production and were actually gonna, you know, come out and everything. So I'm very glad I got this one. I just need the second one, and I've kind of got both of them, and there's nothing anybody can do about them to take them back, I guess. I of course did get this for my Washington Dulles hub. These liveries have of course made appearances at Washington Dulles, mainly flying to Newark and mainly San Francisco. I think they've flown to Los Angeles and different places like that as well. But I'm just very glad I have this aircraft. And again, even if I didn't have a United hub or anything like that, or even if it didn't fly to my airport, I would have still got this just because it's an absolutely beautiful aircraft. And moving on to the box, again, NG put so much effort into the box, it's amazing. We've got the clip art of the aircraft, looking very nice with all the details. The United titles behind there, Boeing 757-200, and then we've got the, I believe this is the Golden Gate Bridge with some palm trees in the United colours, and then we've got the ocean down there, I guess that is, with the registration down there and 1/400 scale collecting all of that down there. And then I don't know if you can see, but in the back we've kind of got a faint kind of image of the United globe in the back. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see one line going up there, one line going up there, and then we've got some lines coming down here to represent the globe on the back of the United aircraft. And again, on the sides of the aircraft, we've got the image of the aircraft, NG757, and then on the side we've got, I really like this fade from blue to white. It's very nice with the turquoise in the middle. And we've got United and all of that, and vice versa on the other sides and on the back. It's the exact same as the front, just all of this stuff down here. And taking this model out of the box, this is going to be an amazing, amazing model to look at. But taking it out of the box, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And it is in one piece, all looks very, very nice. And here we have the model. This is absolutely, just look at it. I just want to take some time to just look at this model. This is just so beautiful. And eventually having the New York livery next to it as well, it's just going to look absolutely amazing. But going into detail on this model and starting out at the front here, now you can see we've got the cockpit windows, of course. The L1 door here, the United titles stretching a long way down the fuselage when compared to their old livery. Got this kind of ocean pattern along here with the forward landing gear, as well as the L1 and L2 doors here. Moving back after the United titles, we've got these palm trees, all in the United colours. We've got this like green colour, purple colour, grey colour, blue colour, and like a turquoise colour. I'm really a fan of this colour right here. Just looks absolutely insane. And then of course we've got the wings in the, I believe this is Bohemian blue, not really sure, but this is the, of course, the new livery on United's part. We've got the blue engines and blue winglets there. And then moving back to represent, of course, the northern part of California, we've got the Golden Gate Bridge, of course, with the registration, which is November 14106, I think. Can't really see from this distance, but there we go. And then we've got, of course, the Wi-Fi bubble on the top, the American flag there after the registration, the mountains in the back after the Golden Gate Bridge, and the rear door there, and then we've got, of course, the amazing United tail on the back. And then just to conclude here, we've got all of the aircraft here. You can see I'll bring this board a little bit forward so maybe the light will hit these boxes a little bit better. Actually, I'm going to move the camera back now as well. But yeah, here we have all 4 of today's planes that we've unboxed. We've got, to recap, we've got the Alaska 737-800 in the new livery, the United 757-200 in the California livery, her out here livery as well, the Hawwian A330-200 in the new livery, and the brand new British Airways 787-10 by Phoenix. And then of course these 3 were NG. Again, just looking at these boxes, you can see how amazing NG do their boxes. They're just vibrant, they're different, they're collectible as well. It's just, these models, man, they're just amazing. Some of the best models. I know that these 2 in particular, the United and the Hawaiian, are going to be up there on my list of my most favorite models. The Alaska is a great model, but it's just a bit basic, and the British Airways 787-10, it's again just a bit basic. But these are all amazing models, and I can't wait to add them to my collection and include them in any airport updates. With that, I want to thank you very much for watching this video. Tell me if you got any of these and what you think of them. And apart from that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.